Rough, adjective, being in a natural state, the difficult aspect, part or side. Parental discretion is advised. This show is for informational purposes only. Many of the techniques and skills shown here are extremely dangerous and potentially life-threatening. Do not attempt to try this at home without proper supervision and training. We carefully select the people who appear in our show. Do not send any footage proving how rough or dangerous you can be. We will not use it.
What's the highest you guys have ever gone?
Moab, Utah. It literally
we were attached to the line. We wear a climbing harness, attach yourself to the line, so if you fall, you live on.
Probably like almost 2,000 feet. Trusting the equipment is the biggest thing.
It's a pretty informal event. It was originally started just by a few of the founders of slacklining, actually. They found this one spot in Moab and started rigging lines up out there and then spending days at a time camping out there. So they started telling their friends from across the world, and they started coming there and pretty much session this spot, and now there's probably 50 of the top world's highliners that meet there every year.
How long has it been going on?
Probably about, this is the third year.
Highlining, it is slacklining, just taken to a greater height. Highlining will be performed on the 1-inch webbing, and it's definitely quite the procedure setting up the highline. It takes, anywhere from 4 to 8 to 12 hours of rigging time, because you're having to drill bolts into rock, setting up nice angled anchors, making sure everything is top notch, because you cannot afford anything to fail in that system. And you actually have a couple different backup lines. We will string another slack line underneath the line. If the first line was to snap, we'd be supported with that, and usually we'll throw another line underneath that too. You're not going to be seeing any of this equipment when we're highlining. It's definitely something that needs to be a lot more secure, as far as, because you're going to be falling on it, you're going to be hanging from your leash, and you just can't afford for anything to break.
How do you get the rope across? I mean, how long are some of these?
That's
That's a great question.
Usually, if you're lucky, you can walk around to the other side, and we'll just attach it hundreds of other feet of rope to the end of the slack line to make sure we have enough slack to get to that side, and then pull it out. But people have had to get creative as far as attaching fishing line to arrows, shooting it across, and then that line leads into a little bit of a thicker line, into a little bit of a thicker line. Somebody climbs up that side of the canyon or rock face or anything
With the rope attached to their back.
It definitely takes a lot of equipment, a lot of line, a lot of rope, and a lot of carabiners.
And a lot of people enjoy that because it's kind of like an artistic part of slacklining. Like, where can I get that line? And
Yeah.
how much exposure does this line have? Meaning, how far in the open is it? Are you in like a little canyon, or are you walking to like an island in the sky?
Absolutely. The more exposure, the more difficult. You're just so free, and it's one of the most amazing things you've ever experienced.
There was 6 lines in a row, and then we had another line set up just behind there, off all by itself, with great exposure. So definitely the farther out line, you're gonna have more exposure, and that's what makes highlining so difficult, is the amount of open space around you.
Is that what you mean by exposure?
Exposure, yeah. Open space, freedom. If you're in something that's really enclosed, it's going to be a lot more comforting. But once you have that open space, and it really just puts a different factor into it.
Yeah.
Another problem a lot of people are running into as far as the highlining aspects of slacklining going slackline goes is that a lot of BLM lands, they pretty much want to make it so that you can't access that land. You can't go enjoy the huge canyons of Moab, anything like that, and that cuts down a lot of slacklining, highlining spots.
Trusting the equipment is the biggest thing. Don't kid yourself, you still look fear straight in the eyes, and
You still think you can fall off and die.
absolutely.
Tune in next week for exciting news segments. Welcome back to Rough TV.
My name is Dakota Collins.
I'm Davis Daly.
We are the founders of Rocky Mountain Slackline LLC. We're out of Fort Collins, Colorado.
What exactly is the sport? What variations or types of slacklining is there?
Well, you know, you've got your traditional 1-inch tubular webbing slacklining. It consists of carabiners and climbing webbing, and that pretty much progressed about 30 years ago in California, just some climbers messing out, actually in Yosemite. And then that's progressed into different companies forming where they're actually manufacturing parts designed for slacklines. And then you come up with companies that are making whole slackline kits. And then you get trick lining, you get the high lining, long lining, which requires a little bit more of a pulley and higher tensioning, practices and safeties. You know, just the mount is hopping up onto the line, preparing for your walk or your stunts. A lot of airs and aerials and inverts.
You know, single drop knee, double drop knee. You got your yoga poses. Buddha.
So what we've actually tried to been doing is combining yoga poses and form on the slacklines. There's static poses, which consist a lot of the, you know, the yoga maneuvers. And you know what? I see slacklining as pretty much being yoga. As far as matching movement with breath, that's what it requires. You're in that state where your posture is nice, you're moving your body, you're taking care of that breath, and you're just feeling good. There are competitions for trick lining.
They involve the 2-inch line, and they get under a lot of tension, probably about 4.5 feet up. Then they've got 2 minutes to perform whatever tricks they want.
And you can see people performing butt bounces, chest bounces. You're going to be getting a lot more of your tricks, bounces, flips, spins, and different types of combinations that people are going to be throwing in there and, you know, incorporate their creativity. It's really a fun thing to watch.
And then what about protecting the trees? You mentioned earlier.
This is a must.
Rocky Mountain Slackline and Slackline Fort Collins always advocates cover your trees, you know, respect your parking regs, make sure you're following all the guidelines and rules.
My rule is leave it cleaner than when you got there. I think that's a big part of, especially with the city allowing us to come and set up these lines. You know, and they want us to keep it clean, and it's more than our honor to keep it clean. We're
And they've
all about it.
definitely, the city's been really cooperative with the sport of slacklining. They've been pretty open-minded to it. You are not allowed to have a line over 4 feet off the tree. You have to have tree wraps, and the tree has to be bigger than 12 inches in diameter. A good rule of thumb is if your object can shake, you shouldn't use it. If you can shake your object and it's moving around, you should probably find a more sturdy object. So Rocky Mountain Slackline organized and developed a community group here in Fort Collins called Slackline Fort Collins. And it's all about just getting the slackliners at Fort Collins together and telling everyone where you're going to be slacklining so we can kind of get more of a community vibe to the thing and kind of come together as one as a slackline community.
Puts you into a state where you have to deal with what's in front of you right there in that second, keeps you in the moment, challenges your physical mind and your sense of control. So it really just allows for you to kind of escape, find your center, your inner self, and really just explore with your own heights. It's like a drive, something that you can't do, you just want to do it. So I think that's what I love about slacklining, is that it isn't easy. It's difficult always.
And once you get it, you just want to get one more step, 5 more steps, 2 more bounces.
Put it higher over something intimidating.
If you want to check out some information about who we are, you can visit www.rockymountainslackline.com.
Smoker, noun, an informal gathering, especially of men, for entertainment, discussion, or the like. Slang, an inter-school fight club comprised of amateur bouts for training purposes in order to experience the cage, the crowd, and the adrenaline rush before competition.
In the blue corner, David Maitland! And introducing in the red corner, Pat Barrow! You ready? Fight!
Tune in next week for exciting news segments.
Fort Collins Roller Derby. We are looking for fresh meat, refs, and any others who want to be a part of the revolution. Come to our next bout. It's on our website, www.choicecityrebels.com. Marcus Valdez, broker associate, partner, and eco-broker, on the web at www.activerain.com/blogs/Marcus Valdez.
Welcome back to Rough TV.
Smoker, noun, an informal gathering, especially of men, for entertainment, discussion, or the like. Slang, an inter-school fight club comprised of amateur bouts for training purposes in order to experience the cage, the crowd, and the adrenaline rush before competition.
Introducing first in the blue corner, White Tupac. And introducing in the red corner, Scott Longmore. Fight!
Good, White. Relax, man. Back to guard. There you go, White.
There you go. Good.
Come on. Say something.
Come on, Dwight.
You got it. Come on.
Stop his head.
Breathe, White. Breathe, man. You're good.
You got it. Come on. You got it, D.
Come on, Scott.
Right. Yeah.
There you go, guys. Good.
Breathe.
Yeah, Scott.
Come on, Scott.
Take him down, Scotty. There you go. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, pull his leg down, bounce. Come on, bounce, Scott. Come on, come and work. Come on, Scott. Pull the knee down, mount. There it is. Watch him out there. Okay, you got it. Get your hooks in, grapevine. Tight on it.
Take it slow.
Get your shoulder on his throat. Scotty.
Come on. Get him on, D.
Yes, sir. Come on, stay busy. Come on, Scott. Get moving. Get take that leg out there. There you go, man. Come on. Good, Scott. You got it. Come on, Scott. Get out of that bar, dude. Slide it.
You got it, D.
Get your
Don't
left
worry.
elbow in there. Come on, Joe. There it is. That's right. Work.
Go, Scott.
Come on, Scott. There you go. Find the hammer, dude. You got it.
You got it. Yes, Scotty.
Yeah.
There you go, Slade.
Grapple. Let's go. Come on.
Come on, Scotty. Scott.
Come on, gentlemen. Roll the pants now. Helicopter, Scott. Get around me. Stop his head and helicopter. Joe.
Let him get that neck, White.
Come on, gentlemen. Fight your way out of this. Let's go. Someone do something. Peruvian?
Go, breathe, White. Nice deep breath.
Come on, gentlemen. Let's go. What time, John? 1:30 left. 1:30, gentlemen. 1:30. Come on, finish strong. There you go.
Come on, Scotty.
Got it.
That neck.
There you go.
exciting new segments.
REMAX Alliance, for all your Northern Colorado real estate needs. 970-226-3990.
Welcome back to Rough TV.
Smoker, noun, an informal gathering, especially of men, for entertainment, discussion, or the like. Slaying, an inter-school fight club comprised of amateur bouts for training purposes in order to experience the cage, the crowd, and the adrenaline rush before competition.
Ladies and gentlemen, blue corner. The red corner, we have Joe Kyle.
Thanks for tuning in to Rough TV. We'll see you next week on NoCo 5 at 10 p.m.